Hey there. Welcome to video game. I'm twitch.tv/arbitrarywater, and I'm an internet. I just ate a butter chicken pizza. Surely this time we won't have the popping. That was a problem.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kratos. Now, what you may not know is that health issues affect even men like me. If you suffer from male pattern baldness, have you considered using Blue Chew? Use coupon code DubiousGauntlet to get 20% off your first order.
There. That's my joke. Made a funny joke. It's fine. Swordmaster, Trickster, Gunslinger, Royal Guard. Is that anything? Did I mention that I bought Devil May Cry 3 again? Yeah, comedy masterpiece Beyond Two Souls. A video game that every time they do something really creepy and gross to Elliot Page, you're like, boy, I can see why he had some issues with this one, huh?
Hi.
Hi, Justin.
Did you beat Hecate? How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, I beat Mr. Mouthman. I mean, no, my very good Devil May Cry bit was just me because you press the D-pad to switch the elements on Kratos' blades, and that's like how you press on the D-pad to switch Dante's styles. But yeah, No, I bought Devil May Cry 3 again, Justin. Like,
Switch?
a month ago. Yeah, on Switch. Because
Great.
that one has the style switching in it. And only that one.
Have you played through it yet?
I played a little bit of it when I was doing the Shakespeare Festival stuff.
Ah.
It's like, wow, I can... Oh, yep. Even the giant statues have their titties out.
Before the master approaches.
I mean, yes, it's God of War.
We have given you all you need for success, and yet you still fail us. The statues were to be completed by now.
It is a massive task.
Which Z-tier
Master. My brothers, they
Greek mythology man is this guy, and why do I need to murder
You have
him?
not been asked to speak.
Ah!
And who will be next? You there! You are now charged with the task of completing the statues.
As you wish.
We hope your work is better than that of your friend here. We can no longer stand the sight of you. You make us sick.
Oh, this is where Sands of Time shit starts happening.
Worthless lot, pathetic. Every last one of them.
I don't care at all about this. I'm just gonna kill them all and let God sort them out.
Oh, still got a little bit of that crackle.
Is that potentially your capture card, or?
I think it if I had to guess, it's probably one of the HDMI cords. Or it's the bootsy ass, the it's the bootsy ass scan converter I'm using. But yeah, how's it going with you? You just, you know, I know we all have our Labor Day barbecues planned with our Labor Day friends and Labor Day family, and definitely aren't like me and your folks are decided to be like, no, we're gonna go to Montana. No, I mean someone got to string the tennis rackets.
Are you working on Labor Day?
No, I'm not working. But basically, I guess one of my cousin's kids got married, so the reception was up in Montana.
Apparently, a meteorite passed over North Carolina last night and made a loud boom.
That's cool.
I wrote it off as thunder because it'd been thundering all night, but apparently it wasn't that time.
How do you feel about one of my favorite pastimes, which is and by favorite pastimes I mean something I've done exactly once, which was watch a bunch of Russian dashcam video compilations, including one where a literal meteor just like streaks through the sky, and none of the Russian people give a shit.
Yeah, this was like 1 a.m. and I was awake, but I didn't pay any attention.
Okay, what if... I did this, and then I huffed. Yeah, look at that. I solved a puzzle. I don't need my lackwit son to tell me what to do. Unlike a different video game.
But mostly this weekend I'm just gonna chill out, read stuff,
Yeah.
video games. So, like, in the grand scheme of God of War games, like, where do you place this one? Is it obvious why people didn't like it at the time?
It feels like a late. It feels like the late era. We need to fill a release calendar. I'll say, at the very least, the part, like, the changes they made to how this game actually plays are, at the very least,
Is it a trying thing? Sort of?
yes, it is trying. Like, hey, the parry's not automatic anymore. You have to actually... And it seems like the window is significantly tighter than it used to be. Anyway. Take that, monster.
Hey, the one thing I remember about this game is that I remember hearing parts of it had a significant difficulty spike. I don't know if you've reached any of those yet.
Let's find out. We haven't gotten there yet. So just as a let's say a thought experiment. What would you say is the best of the classic Castlevania games?
Like the original ones?
Yes, like pre-Symphony. At this point, I eat these kinds of games for breakfast sometimes. Okay, I see what I need to do here.
I've never played the original 3. So I've played Super Castlevania 4. I've played Rondo of Blood. played Dracula X. I've not played Bloodlines. It's really mostly just between those three. Some part of me wants to say Super Castlevania 4, because that's the one I played the most of. But Rondo's presentation and soundtrack fucking blows everything outside of the water.
Yeah, it does.
But I liked all three.
Okay.
Any one of those games, I would say, yeah, y'all have a good time. I know people have things to say about Dracula X. I never felt that way about it.
Okay. What do I need to do with this here? Oh, yep, there we go. Just handing them out like candy. Oh yeah, no, that second Game Boy Castlevania seems like it is doing way more with the hardware. Also, I very sincerely thought about pre-ordering Black Ops 6 so I could play the beta. Because I watched some clips and they made the stupid movement even more stupid. But yeah, I'll just say that Joku has been having Castlevania takes.
Oh boy, which one is which one?
So, well, he's been playing all of them. Because it turns out most of those games are actually, hey, guess what? When you have the save state functionality included with those collections, you can kind of blast through them, and that's fine. But he liked Simon's Quest the most of the NES ones.
I've never played any of the NES ones. I know Simon's Quest has a reputation. But like, if you're using maybe a guide to save states, Simon's Quest probably feels a whole lot better than it did back in the day.
I believe that's so.
Like, it's an early example of a Metroidvania, and like, if you don't have to deal with the problems that game has, you probably don't really get a sense of why people hate it so much.
I mostly remember that game in the context of it being the original AVGN episode. Like, that was the thing he made in, like, 2003. Anyway,
If you search for truth, the
oh
souls
yeah,
of
now we
Hades
get
will aid your quest.
purple magic. Alright, cool, so...
Zeus, I will not press XXY.
I will not press XXY, Zeus.
Sorry. Square, square, triangle, Kratos.
Square, square, triangle, Kratos. Foolishness will cost us all dearly.
Your foolishness will cost you your multiplier, Kratos.
So,
Yes, Justin.
my old irritation YouTube video was saying, Noah Caldwell Javai is a guy who makes videos that I like a lot, but occasionally, when he talks about mechanics, he gets things very wrong. In his God of War video, he frequently talks about squares for a triangle. But he says triangle, triangle, square. And I'm like, that's a combo, but it's not the one.
Maybe that's why he's struggling.
He's not very good. He beat the Dark Souls games.
It's almost like most of those games, at the very least, the critical path of most of those games is not nearly as insurmountable,
Rigorous.
as its detractors claim,
Yes, I agree.
or advocates for that matter.
And as someone who just played through all three, I agree. They are still hard though.
Is this after God of War 3?
I mean, in the timeline, this is the first.
This is the first. Is Ares around?
No,
Is he like, kill your children, Kratos?
no, this is he's still the ghost of Sparta and the god's lapdog, but he's being pursued by the Furies because those are the last.
Those are the last figures of
Those are
Greek
the last
mythology.
Greek mythological figures he hasn't murdered yet.
Where's Medea? Have we killed Medea yet?
Oh, homework.
The witch Medea? How about the tree?
Does the fear
that
of
she
trashing
sends
a
Argo
game
to
on the
get-
pod that will develop a cult following keep me up at night? No. No.
What did
Which
y'all-
game?
Did y'all crash? Did y'all crash Elden Ring?
No. That's not a cult following. No, in this, did the AVGN ever trash a game people like now? I feel like it's a lot of the stuff, like the NES era stuff that he was originally known for. I feel like it's a lot harder to, like, you can talk about Tim Follin's work on Silver Surfer all you want, but that game's definitely Kuso tier. No, because, people get mad at us when we like a game incorrectly.
Well, you should know better.
Yeah. How was I supposed to know that, if you don't do these exact things while playing Ogre Battle 64,
I mean, it's not meant for you to find everything. Because if you do, that game's hard. Case in point, a Zombie Pie playthrough. He just looks up exactly what to do and has overpowered characters.
oh god, Jesus Christ.
I have no problem capitulating and looking up a guide.
Sure,
because
but
I
do you make an
try
attempt
not-
first?
Yes, I always do.
Yes.
I give it the college try. And usually when I do that, I feel like it's a follow game than anything.
Alright, do I have to use
Well,
water?
okay, let me take that back. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I go, oh, the pieces are there to figure it out.
Those are big men.
Oh, I messed up the QTE.
To jail you go.
I know. Quick time Erebus, they call it in Greek mythology.
In Latin. Who? Who are the Romans?
Okay, so Aeneas, he's one of the Trojans. And,
Romulus and Remus, those are Star Trek planets, right?
anyway.
I'm smiling. Nobody else
Here's
has
where
to.
I talk about,
I know you're smiling. That's all that matters, Roken, that you're smiling at your own joke.
Yes.
no. People forget that the Romans made their own Greek mythology fan fiction.
No, Neptune's original.
Like, the Aeneid is literally, like, Virgil doing his own riff on the Odyssey, and, the Iliad.
I mean, most Roman things are stolen from something else.
Yeah, but specifically, the thing that really got me was realizing that the Aeneid was literally, like, more than 1,000 years after the Iliad was written.
So you're saying it's time for somebody to write a new
I'm
take
saying,
on it?
yeah, okay, hear me out. What if
Your
Trojan
space.
War, but without any of the cool god stuff? And instead,
Okay, in the future,
Orlando Bloom is there,
and there are like
and
fun
Carl
takes
Urban,
on guns that are basically still just MP5s.
and, yeah, that's it. Orlando Bloom and Carl Urban are there.
Is this a reference to something?
And Brad Pitt is Hector. Yes, this is a reference to the movie Troy.
Ah, okay.
Wait.
At first, you said Carl Urban, I was just like, I don't think Orlando Bloom was in Dread, but
No,
I'm just going to assume you're talking about Dread.
no,
That's the only thing
Orlando
I
Bloom was
recognize.
Paris.
Yeah.
All right, that seems like good typecasting.
Yeah, and yes, Ares was, Achilles was Brad Pitt, and Hector was, I believe, Carl Urban
I could see all those things.
in the mid-aughts.
It was a sort of epic-ish movie in that time.
But without any of the fun Greek mythology stuff.
I don't know if it holds up. I've
I
never
bet
seen
no.
it. It's probably fine. If maybe a little dull. What was that one? What was the one? There was another sort of epic of that came out during that time. The one starring had Templars in it. They went to what was that one?
Kingdom of Heaven?
Yes, that one.
Another,
Apparently that-
yes, another Orlando Bloom classic.
Apparently, the original incarnation of that movie was
Yeah.
not great, and then they released a version of it with all the scenes that were cut out at the end.
Yeah.
And now it's like 4 hours long, but I've heard
Yeah.
it's good. I've seen it once, but I don't remember anything.
People seem... Oh, Jesus.
People seem to like that movie a lot.
Uh,
That version of that movie a lot.
yeah, people like Ridley Scott's director's cut version of that far more than the theatrical version. Okay. No, you just gotta go. Gotta inhale the green gas and then just truck. I'm not gonna lie, that feels like a fairly cheap jump. But, you know, the penalty for dying is so low. I pressed square, you fucker! Man, this game's just handing out Phoenix Feathers and Gorgon's Eyes like candy.
That's what they had back then.
Yeah,
3 days.
it's true.
What you got for Halloween?
Yeah.
And then unfortunately we went to candy corn.
I mean, candy corn is derived from the souls of the damned. Oh, thanks, video game. I should have noticed the floor slightly crumble. But yeah, Castlevania. What if, okay, hear me out. What if Castlevania, but you've got it's like an action game?
I'm here for it.
And you've got some sort of long chain whip thing.
Okay. A combat cross?
Yeah, and Sir Patrick Stewart is there getting a paycheck. And also...
He's doing a good job. I like that first one.
I think that first game is too long and...
Sure.
Many cutscenes.
Has a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah. Zobek wants you to know.
He wants you to call. But yes, Sir Patrick Stewart is a classically trained British actor, which is to say, man ain't above getting paid. Nor should he.
And some of those chapter interstitials where it's just him narrating, those are actually written pretty well.
Yes, and then, Gabriel, you need to... I need you to treat with the Romulan delegation.
Okay, which one am I doing again?
And then, I'm not dumb, video game.
I can be anywhere. I am now an omnipresent ruler.
Oh, and
Oh, yep. You got teleportation circles, so
I
now
can
you
go
can just
anywhere.
zip around the map.
Anywhere.
You get those
Glad you
pretty
found a way to-
quickly in Wrath of the Righteous once you get access to the campaign map.
It takes you beating Act 4. Takes a
Oh,
while
that's-
this one.
that's the beginning of Act 2 in Wrath of the Righteous. Oh, one thing about Wrath of the Righteous, you will have a time when you have to defend an important location. Make sure you have a solid hour and a half set aside.
Sure.
If you're playing turn-based, yeah.
Which I am.
Yeah. I'll say, even playing that game on core, I found it a lot easier this last time through than I did at launch. And I think part of that is just some of those skills actually work as intended now. Okay. Fuck y'all.
Is Valerie ever supposed to hit something?
In Game Maker?
Yeah.
She's a fighter, so eventually. But also, she's
No.
a bad fighter.
Yeah, she's a really good regent.
Yeah.
Which is what she's been for me.
one of the only characters I should I trade for. I have Jathal on the bench. Should I trade them out?
Jathal is more useful than Valerie.
In combat, she's maybe the most useless character when it comes to advising.
That's
she actually
fine.
might be the most by far.
I benched her because I didn't want to deal with the undeadness.
Yeah, also,
but
every
I
time
will
I've
work
spoken
with
to her, I hate her more. She's such a fucking piece of garbage. And not in a fun way. Not in a fun way. It's just like, you really are
Listen, your fun evil pieces of garbage are in the next game. I'm sorry.
Like, at least with somebody like Durance, you just find yourself going, God damn.
Again.
I mean,
your-
she's like,
your
yeah, I
guy-
just murdered all of my family, and they all fucking hate me, and now I'm undead, and I don't give a shit.
Well, your guy's in the next game.
Yeah. Dayren is...
I got you to play King.
I mean, Dayren is. I'm not talking about Dayren.
And
Dayren's good though. Dayren's good evil. I mean, he's evil.
he's just
but
a
like,
yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Did my screenshot of my shirtless, crowned king
Yeah.
inspire you to play
Yeah.
Kingmaker?
you have a whole screenshot mode. After I don't know. They didn't backport that, did they?
No.
No, I've just been taking screenshots from whatever it's attached to in God. King Sensei. I'm very proud of him. I didn't know this about monks, but when you get high enough level, along with other effects like they're being considered magic, my fists are now considered to be the law.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the rules, they are considered to be
Lawful.
law.
As far as overcoming
Capital
damage
law.
reduction against chaotic creatures.
It's great.
Some of which you fight in these later chapters. Oh, that's good. I'm glad the game doesn't sound blown out. It was popping a little bit.
Have you done this before? I feel like I've seen this hourglass before.
Yeah, that's because you keep glancing at the screen every 30 minutes.
No, I meant like weeks ago. Or
Oh.
does God of War 3 have an incredibly similar
Probably. Non-zero
somewhat.
chance.
Somewhat, yes.
All of these. Here's the secret: all of these games are the exact same. This game is trying to be different in some ways that are good, and some ways that are bad. I'll say right now, I think my biggest problem with this game, other than the part where it feels like it doesn't justify its own existence, is
Yeah, you don't like these. It's just there, and you gotta live with it. How do you feel when things are closer to the camera than you, or are off camera in the direction of the camera? Is that great?
Okay, so you're telling me what if perhaps there were fixed camera angles, okay? And what if I moved around like a tank?
Yeah, like a good fixed camera angle where you could see more of the screen.
Okay.
But Justin, who'd you get sent with out once you finished the prologue in the mansion?
So
Well, I was gonna say this is a save that I started a couple months ago, and I didn't play much. And I'm in the old Sycamore now. I don't remember.
Oh, you're near the end of
exactly.
Act 1, yeah.
It was. Really?
Tartuccio.
I mean, the Stag Lord is the end of Act 1, but yes.
I feel
Yeah,
like I have a lot
there's-
more. I feel like I have a whole lot more I could go exploring. Like,
Yeah.
There's basically only 3 bits to Act 1. It's the choice between the tomb and the bandit camp, the choice between the Sycamore and the Elk Temple, and then yeah.
All right, now I'm stuck in a room with a bunch of spiders. Everyone's webbed, so I'm hoping that these misses
Yeah.
hold up.
Webs.
Yeah.
What if they were phantasmal webs?
Okay, yeah, go on. Tell
Guards
me...
are very good.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, guess what? Wizards in D&D games are exceptionally powerful.
Yeah, Disintegrate.
Yeah.
Like, Octavia's been a good support caster and does good damage occasionally, but I didn't realize Disintegrate was transmutation.
Which means it stacks with all of her bonuses.
Yes,
to
which I have
save
all of those because I was
DC.
like, why not do it? And then also, it can sneak attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did 170 damage in one shot to the Act 5 boss.
Yeah.
Just...
Which is,
Whoops.
Yeah. And then by the time you get to Wrath of the Righteous, doing 150 damage with one spell is like, oh yeah, no, that's what they're doing to you.
Okay.
Wrath of the Righteous is power creep.
It
is
also
absurd,
power
though.
creep escalates because of the mythic stuff.
Sure. They're already
know,
doing a bit of
yeah.
that in this. Like, my crown gives me +6 to charisma, intelligence, and wisdom.
Yep. That's also just Pathfinder.
So my assumption is that in that game, it's just like, yeah, no, sure, you're just going to find crap like that more regularly. It's not like some big story event thing.
Okay, I think I know what I need to do here.
I also have a sword that drives its wielder insane, which is, that's just fun.
Anyway, as it turns out, very good video games.
Yeah, do you have a bag of tricks?
Yeah, I have it installed, but I'm mostly using it for the same thing you did, rests.
Yeah, that's all I would
the other
recommend.
thing, the other thing I'm using it for is to be able to zoom out a little more, because I think the default game's max zoom is bad.
Turns out also I missed another companion, also as a result of a bug.
Oh, who?
Her name is Sana. She's supposed to have a character portrait. She didn't, so I didn't realize she was actually a companion.
Oh.
And so when given an option what to do with her, I was just like, yeah, leave.
The other thing I have turned on is the thing that lets me rotate the camera sometimes, which I don't use as much, but
I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, you can only do it with like keyboard keys and not hold the mouse button down, which sucks, but it's been useful.
Talking about the Oracle of Delphi.
Yeah.
She's probably dead at this point.
Oh, don't worry.
Are there
if she's
any-
not, we'll fix it. We'll fix that.
Are there any party members in Wrath of the Righteous, Braden, that are mechanically useless?
So I think the closest is, I think Regil, his Hell Knights are bad
Oh,
because they're worse paladins, more or less.
you can make him work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can make all of them work. Like I don't think any of them are like unsalvageable the way someone like Harem is in Kingmaker.
Harem, I found my use for him.
Yeah.
He can be extremely powerful.
He's
And
a
you
cleric,
you
so
can't-
he can still do his job.
Yeah, he also is good with necromancy stuff, so there's a lot of touch spells he can be a fucking nightmare with. And Animate Dead, and the, I don't remember what
Yeah.
the better version of that's called, but...
Tristan can also do that, though. And
Yeah,
cast
I have-
Fireball.
I currently have
You can't count on Tristan, though.
That's fine.
I currently have Harem with Touch of Chaos, like in his hotbar. It seems pretty useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of really good touch spells he gets. I don't think I even use Inflict Wounds really at this point. Like Slay Living is really good.
Yeah, Inflict Wounds is underappreciated.
Bone Shatter's good.
Bone Shaker.
Oh, sorry, Shatter is the better one.
Bone Shatter is the upgraded version, yeah.
I like the phrase Bone Shaker a little bit.
I was said about Harem. Harem's also a really good High Priest. Starts off with +4 Wisdom. He's sometimes he's okay with like sacrifices and stuff, but you know that's just.
It's all going to go down.
Listen, he's a proponent of freedom of religion, and so am I. So we're buddies. His story is actually also interesting.
Oh, Coolbear. It's my train outside.
Now,
who would you mechanically? Who would you say is the best companion in Kingmaker?
Tristan.
Yeah, it's
That
Tristan.
doesn't stab you in the back.
Octavia, because she's a wizard.
Yeah, it'd be Octavia next, but
Like, it's-
yeah, Tristan.
But yeah, it's just
Tristan's ecclesiarches are
it's
like a single pulse of his channel positive energy is so powerful once you get the 50% bonus. And if you get the Factory of Light of positive energy, it adds in another 2d6, which will be 50%. I got extra channeling with him as well, so he has like 10 full uses of it a day now. Amiri is extremely good at being a barbarian.
Yep.
And Lindsay is a very good bard.
Very good bard.
Bards are
Well, I have all three of those in my party right now.
Yeah.
In general, I'm okay with my party. Valerie doesn't hit anything at all.
No, she's bad.
Like, but her constitution is absurd.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also she starts with +2 charisma, so she's going to be your regent.
Yeah,
Because your only other regent is Octavia, who will be your magister.
So yeah, the thing with tanking, well, also depending on which advisors you pick up over the course of the story, you can get NPC advisors.
Yes, you've already missed out on some though, because the choice you make. Well, actually, no. I think you
No,
get
it's
to
the
make
choice
that
you make at Act 1 that
Yeah,
determines.
after Stag Lord, yeah.
After you beat the Stag Lord, you can choose to side with the Aldori,
Or with the Sertova. Or with a third guy I don't trust and never looked into him. I'm going to look into him after I beat the game. But I'll say the Aldori guy, completely useless. Less than useless, because you have both Amiri and Regengar that can be generals. They are objectively better.
I'm a Magus, so I'm not taking Regengar around. If I was, I'd probably have traded out probably Valerie for Regengar.
Valerie-
Harem's only here. Harem's only here because I need
Go
a
ahead.
cleric. Harem's only here because I need a cleric.
Harem's good. I like Harem. Here's the problem with Valerie. Tower Shield Specialist takes a long time before they get all the benefits of it.
before they get the things that actually make
Them good tanks.
the archetype worthwhile.
Yeah, so you're basically just playing with a fighter that's not able to hit stuff. That also, like in my case, was not effective as my shirtless.
She doesn't get
as being
weapon
a tank.
training.
Yeah, and she starts off with bastard sword weapon training, and I don't find a lot of bastard swords. Yeah, you'll get all the people in the beginning. It's just who you get depends on which thing you did first.
Yeah.
So if you went and did the Tomb first, then you get a choice of either Harem or Jade Bowl, and you'll get the other one at the Sycamore.
Yeah, based on how you played the prologue.
What's the keyboard combination to get a screenshot from GOG?
F12.
It's the same as Steam.
Where is it saved? It didn't give me a notification.
If you go to Galaxy and then right-click, go to Manage Installation, there'll be a Show Screenshots folder. But yeah, and then depending on if you go to the Sycamore first or you go to the Elk Temple, that'll determine whether or not you're remaining either. It basically determines which one of the characters you get during Act 1 and which one shows up at the beginning of Act 2. So if you went to Elk Temple first, you get Tristan, who actually starts off at level 3, which was higher than I was when I found him. But yeah, there are basically only 3 missable companions past Act 1, and I missed 2 of them.
It's fine.
I really wish I had Jubilost. Didn't have a treasure for a long time.
For some reason,
Oh, your mic.
the screenshot button isn't working. No, my mic is fine. I know what's causing that. I need to take a picture and post it to the Discord.
Snipping tool?
It's not working either. Hold on.
But yeah, I think on my initial armor class predictions were low.
Yeah.
Because I can already consistently get to about 49
Yep.
at level 13.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Welcome to Pathfinder.
Ah.
It's like 3rd
Anyway.
edition on steroids.
Anyway, I posted a screenshot to Discord of an irritation that I'm currently waiting on. Valerie is stuck in web, and like I looked at the
And she keeps
The
failing
thing.
her save.
yeah, like it is just a giant list
Yeah.
of failed saves.
Early on, I did that to myself a bunch with Grease. Luckily, at least at those low levels, I think it's only a number of minutes equal to your level, so it didn't take long for it to stop. But
But right now I'm still waiting, and it's been several minutes.
oh, it's the enemy's web, right?
Yeah. It's not my web.
Oh, you have Jod's portrait.
Okay, I turned off fighting defensively.
Yeah, no, that's not worth it unless you're a monk and you have the crane style.
I
which
mean,
makes it
hey,
amazing.
you don't need to be a monk to get crane style as a feat.
Oh, you don't?
No, you just need improved unarmed strike.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but once you upgrade crane style, it basically means that you get the +4 for only a -1 to your attack, as well as also anytime anybody ever misses you, but they hit within that 4 leading up to your AC, you get an attack of opportunity.
Yep.
And because I have 7 attacks of opportunity,
Yep. Combat
I like to-
reflexes.
I like to stand next to mages and archers and then kill them off my turn.
Place your offerings for Aletheia. We will decide if they're worthy at our
I would have to do something like this in a bunch of different games to fully understand Pathfinder, but I am enjoying kind of the discovery of
audience with the Oracle,
mastery
and
and
yet you
whatnot.
bring no offerings.
It's a good system.
Stupid, but bold. Although you must have good reason to seek.
There we
the
go.
Oracle
I wound up
very
having to
second
rest, and
mark.
that went away finally.
Return when you have brought appropriate sacrifice.
I have come to see the Oracle.
Also, if you're just trying to leave the area, it doesn't matter if somebody's trapped in a web.
I would have liked to hear your story, warrior.
Okay.
It is a shame you failed to see reason. Remove him. We have to find a better slave trader.
All right.
These two
Oh,
goobers.
oh fuck! It's it's Quato.
Oh no.
That's gross.
I saw that episode of X-Files.
Have you seen Total Recall?
Yes. My first thought is, yeah, X-Files episode where the conjoined twin was eating people.
What? Was there a fucking QTE?
The God of War game.
Oh
of course
no!
there was.
Of course it was. Of course I had control. Definitely could tell that from
Yeah.
the video game.
We will see to it you
I did play games before.
Yeah.
I know he games. Leave with me. I will take care of him. Arrogant fool.
Also, Justin, are you a lawful character?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Why?
Your whatever alignment you pick in Act 1 will determine your kingdom starting alignment. There's not enough choices to potentially change it during Act 1. So if you start off this alignment, it means your kingdom gets access to the best building in the game.
Sorry, I'm neutral good, not awful good.
Oh, that's too bad.
Got a problem?
It's a starting building you can get called Bulletin Board. It's the best thing in the game.
Oh
Gives all
well.
your advisors a +2 to any roll they make in that region.
Can I get it otherwise?
You'd have to change your kingdom alignment to lawful, which from my understanding would take most of the game.
Isn't he?
Oh.
His
I'm sure I'll be
persistence
fine.
only means
Probably. It just I have not really had to worry about the stat stuff in this game because you just keep getting more and more bonuses. Starting off with one basically means you start off with a certain amount of momentum.
Why was he allowed entry to my temple?
I believe I had the kingdom stuff set to easy.
Yeah.
Cause like I want to engage in it, but I don't like really want to be challenged by it.
The only hard thing I can tell about it is that the DC for problems has kind of kept creeping up and is beginning to eclipse how high I can get my character's modifiers. Otherwise, I don't think the plate spinning is actually a big deal at all. It's more me just going like, how perfectly can I do this? To be honest, this is actually a person from Greek mythology I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either.
Who is it supposed to be? Have they given a name?
No.
Oh, okay. Now I do know these people.
Who is it?
Austin Caster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I believe they are. One of them is. I believe the dominant one is the son of Zeus.
One of them.
It's a weird thing where like Zeus impregnated the mom at the same time like her husband did.
Yeah.
And so the dominant one is Zeus's and the other one is her husband's. Thanks, Zeus. At least he didn't knock up somebody who's like a goose this time. Or a rain cloud.
Okay, but what if he turned you into a cow and then fucked?
Zeus.
I love... Yeah. Age Mythology Retold! Coming out next week! That's not a joke.
You will never
Are you
prevail.
gonna be playing it?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Because I like that game.
Die, Mark Warrior!
Okay, yeah, nope. Just have to blow up the columns.
That's another thing about Kingmaker, Justin. The moment you can get an artisan, do their quest line. Because the sooner you get that stuff done, they start making crap for you, the more stuff you'll get. It's really nice when somebody just comes up like every month and it's just like, yo, I made you some magic items.
Okay, cool.
And they have all of quest lines that they keep hinting at, like being able to make some sort of like super creation, so maybe eventually they'll do that.
When you say magic items, what do you mean, like rings of protection, or like what?
It depends on the person. So this was something I learned back when I was like looking for information on like do's and don'ts, generally speaking, with kingdom management stuff. But apparently they all have like a number of different categories that they can make items for, and you can ask for something specifically, like, hey, you make armor, but you also make like crossbows. Make me a crossbow. But apparently, if you tell them to make whatever they want, you have like a 50% chance of getting a higher tier item from their list. So if you're willing to just kind of accept the risk that comes with randomness, you can potentially get some stuff way above your level.
This is just a Crash Bandicoot boss.
Oh, okay.
Where's the boulder?
All right, it's time for first-person murder again.
Not since God of War 3.
Not since the last game have I viscerally, brutally murdered someone, but
Your
now
brother
because
this time.
but now there are two of them.
Only one of them is your brother.
Have you cut off the conjoined twin yet?
Oh, yeah, he's got to rip it out, right?
Oh
Yeah, like he's gonna do that at some point.
I grow tired of my brother's incompetence.
Yeah, like a couple months passed, and I just had like 6 people come up to me and give me a bunch of magical items. Even if you don't want them, you can eventually just sell them for a ton.
Yeah, I'm about to say you sell it to pedal.
Even the guy that gives you potions, some of those sell for a ton. Yeah, like I just got a Sai, which I will never use, that's worth 8,200 gold. Yeah, I made roughly 45,000 gold worth of stuff. I think I'll only use one of these things. I hope I have locked you in, Kingmaker. Just so I can nod greedily off the side and go, yes, yes.
I mean, it was already one of those games on my list of things I'm very definitely absolutely going to play one of these days.
See, meanwhile, I'm over here being like, yeah, I'd be fine not finishing. Especially now.
Oh, after
replaying Wrath of the
of
Righteous for 150 hours.
It's a better game, but that's okay.
And yeah, getting to the end game shit in that and just going, no.
You are more powerful than I am.
I'll also say this, all the trading agreements are not worth it.
All the trading agreements?
Yes.
Yeah,
They are none of them are worth it, especially the first one they offer you. I did that in my original playthrough, and that was a big part of the reason I started over. It fucks you over. You can basically take a big chunk of BP at the beginning, and then they reveal to you that, like, nope, you're locked into a union contract, and so all your buildings will cost 25% more until you eventually have somebody negotiate your way out of it.
So union's bad. Okay, got it.
I mean, only bad in the sense that you are at that point, extremely powerless fledgling nation.
I don't find any of that kingdom management stuff fun at all. So the fact that you are into it is surprising.
Well, it's just about figuring out, like, what's actually worth it. Like, the first one, they gave you one that's a trade agreement with the Sertovas, like, that's available from the beginning, but you couldn't possibly do it because it costs 1,500. But I was looking at and doing the math, and I was just like, it would still take multiple years of in-game to make it work. And I'm already not having trouble with how much of the resource I have, because you can just convert gold to VP. So it's like, what, I sacrifice it now when it's more scarce to have more of it later when I need it less? That's basically how they all come down to. What I'm saying is that Objectivia is an isolationist country, if you couldn't guess by the name. Isolationist until, of course, I take you over like I've already done with one of my neighbors.
When you do that, like, is there some, like, big battle, or is it just, like, a civilization thing where you just...
I'm assuming that's... Well, if you, like... Other nations are to the west, like Hithax, for example. I'm assuming I'm going to have to go into war at some point. But the friends of yours to the east, you saved them in the Guy's Swords fealty. Of course, then there are problems because the citizenry are not super happy about that. So that's like a recurring quest line past that point. So I went over and I murdered a bunch of their militia. Which I think would do a pretty good job at making them stop when the king walks up shirtless, punches with their leader in the head, and he explodes. I think I'd get up at that point.
Maybe.
I've reached the part where I am irritated.
This boss does not look fun.
The part where, hey,
Is this his
he just,
third or fourth phase?
This is his third.
I mostly just want to see you rip the twin out of the body.
Yeah, this kill animation should be good, but yeah, this boss fight keeps happening.
I think specifically it's the part where he has the fucking slowing field around him.
Sure, I see you're trying to hit him from just the edge, but it seems like that's a really tiny window.
And
then
yeah,
when
I
he does
needed
his
to wait
shooting,
for
you're
one of
kinda
those
screwed.
rocks to respawn.
Ugh. Do you take
I'm
damage
glad.
when you block the projectiles, or does it do shit?
No,
But Caster is unstoppable.
oh, okay. Next phase.
Have sealed the
Oh, cool,
Oracle's
fourth.
fate. You will never know the truth.
This is early in the game too, right? You've only played this once before?
I mean, who knows how long this is.
No, not as wide.
Okay.
Caster and Pox, are they white guys? Oh, here it is.
Now we're getting the QTEs. Now he's trying to teleport behind me, going nothing personal, kid.
Flash stepping all over the place.
And now I get to punch him. Or rip. Yep. There we go.
This is Icarus all over again.
Ugh.
Have to pad out the bosses so it's not shorter than 3.
It was my brother who betrayed me.
I mean, the magic's all in the conjoined twin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's properly
I mean,
discussed.
yeah, I've played Warhammer. I know about Village the Curseling.
God.
Oh, fuck you.
Here's this-
Fuck you, video game. Fuck off.
What, the trophy name or
Yeah.
the failed
The trophy name.
Wade?
Wait,
No.
remember that thing? Remember that movie?
Well, this is
We
also
remember
the
that
video
movie?
game that infamously had a trophy named Bros Before Hoes,
Oh.
which they had to change.
Can't believe they were so weak they backed down and changed the name of that trophy.
Yeah, they woke it. Oh, wrong one. I did my magic. Instead, I should go. Oh. Hey, remember Remember?
Now you have the conjoined twins, the dead conjoined twins power.
You remember Singularity?
Hey,
That
yeah,
was a
you
good
remember
video game.
multiple video games? Because, I have great news.
Fucking, Red Faction, what was it?
Armageddon.
What was it? No, yeah, Armageddon. Where you could put stuff back together. Remember that?
Really small scale.
The-
No, I
the
don't.
The one thing that game had.
Remember the TV show?
I don't.
I never watched
See,
it.
that's a...
I know, Arby, you were a big fan of Defiance TV show. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm always thinking about sci-fi.
You made your choice. You chose Defiant.
Yeah, the Defiance, Red Faction, wars of 2010.
Oh, those forum wars were dangerous and bloody.
Where was Stargate Atlantis? On this,
I think Stargate Atlantis was...
It's well before that.
Yeah, Stargate Atlantis was early?
I think it might have even started in the late 90s.
No, Atlantis did. Atlantis
No,
was
because
definitely
SG-1 was late 90s.
2000s. SG-1 went on into the 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. 2004 through 2009.
Oh,
Really?
Okay, when was Stargate Universe?
Oh, right, that. Which utterly missed the point of Stargate.
Yeah,
Stargate Universe. I think it lasted fucking a year, right? 2 seasons started in two. It basically started as soon as Atlantis ended.
That was gonna be their next one, and then it just didn't work, I guess.
Effect on me.
Then I fear you are beyond aid.
Where's my Stargate reboot? Surely someone is trying to get that off the
the
ground.
military-industrial complex would love a TV show that makes them look good. Where's my Stargate reboot?
Where's French Stewart? Get him out. This is everybody's favorite worst typecast,
I can feel it.
worst cast Marine, I should say.
You seek the truth,
Good lord,
Yes.
French Stewart.
so be it. But
I think about French Stewart entirely in the context of that Community episode where French Stewart plays a French Stewart impersonator.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Hold on a minute, WK. There are Stargate books, like they're based on books.
Sure.
Like, is that movie?
Yeah, I
based
could
on
see the
book?
original being based on a book. I mean, most movies are.
Is this like how Parasite Eve was based on a book?
Based on the movie of a book.
Yeah.
Your bond is complete. What's done is done. It cannot be undone.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like no.
furies infect your mind.
It looks like it's all based on that one
Oh.
Roland Emmerich movie, which is probably worse than everything else in the franchise.
Curiously enough.
Resist.
So the shade speaks the truth.
Wait, what?
The intentions
Why
of
is-
Oracles are pure,
Why is Kratos fleeing his oath to Ares?
and he will play his part
Yeah.
in time.
He's angry.
I killed my wife!
My time grows
And
short.
now my dead wife and child's ashes are
Madness that infects
on my skin
you
forever.
must defeat those who hold your bond with the god of war.
How can I defeat the Furies when all I see is illusion?
Across the sea, the lantern of Delos keeps the eyes of truth.
Delos.
Find the eyes, and they will show you the path to freedom.
Anyway, that was a really exciting revelation.
If you swing your swords at her, will you get red orbs?
One can only Ha-ha! Wow.
I like that you smash the chest now.
Yeah.
Is it of opening them? Yeah. Nothing else that's a different animation than the one from God of War 1.
And then Kratos, having learned absolutely nothing of import, continued on his journey.
Oh, Justin, I didn't realize, but you have one of those curving monitors.
Yes.
Ugh.
I have an ultra-wide monitor. It's
ultra-wide.
Uh-huh. It's 21 by 9. It's very cool. I like it a lot. Have you ever... It takes a minute to get used to, but...
Yeah, he's like a hacker.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He's like, I'm in. He types in, and then, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not quite as good of a hacker as Angelina Jolie.
Who is?
Oh, that movie.
I saw that with some friends.
Yep, it's great.
Recently.
It is the most 1995 movie ever made.
There's the bit where he's like standing out in the middle of a street and it's dark. It sets it up like this Nor thing, and then that dude just comes rolling along on a skateboard and grabs the fucking floppy disk. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Oh, you mean the part where Fisher Stevens' character is introduced by being like, "Never fear, I is here." Yeah, it's one of the great works of the 20th century.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I've said before that I think a lot of the biggest films of the 1990s are kind of a cultural wasteland. Hackers is proof that art can exist in so many different forms.
Yeah, there were some good movies in the 90s.
Everybody loves that remake of McHale's Navy. Thanks, Tom Arnold.
Everyone loves that remake of Psycho that Gus Van Sant did. That is shot for shot the exact same. Although he claims to have done that entirely so that no one else would try to remake Psycho.
I mean, to be fair, Legend of Drunken Master came out in the 90s, so that's one of the best movies ever made.
Well,
Big Trouble in Little
international
China
cinema
came out in the
and
90s.
American cinema. In the 90s, we had Amelie.
Haven't you not seen Amelie?
I have not seen it.
The only thing I remember from Amelie is there's a scene of her having sex and looking at the camera, giggling.
So you're telling me Jean-Pierre Jeunet is French?
I remember having to get a parent to sign off on me watching that in high school, and we got to that scene here. It's just like, yeah, it's just a guy's back. But I guess it's suggestive. You're being asked, how is the God of War?
God of War. How is God of War? This is acceptable, Raves Arbitrary Water.
Is it really?
I mean,
you've played all the best parts of this game before.
Okay, you're right. I think this game is like astoundingly derivative and like does not feel like it has its heart in it anymore. I'll say in terms of like actual playing the video game, I don't think it's like dramatically worse than 3. Because the parts where you play 3 are so insubstantial compared to you just, ripping Kratos' fingernails out. Which I'm never going to not talk about.
I was not terribly grossed out by that part. It's weird, but like he's so huge and I'm like otherworldly that it didn't matter to me. The part where you shove a innocent teenage girl into a bunch of gears, however.
A little messed up.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
A little dark and twisted.
Yeah, no, I appreciate how much that game goes for the, no, Kratos is a villain, period, end of story. But also some of the things it makes you do is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, I think mechanically this game is trying to mix things up in a way I appreciate, because, you know, by virtue of those games being what they are, those PSP games can't do anything super ambitious.
I mean, the very fact that they managed to make a God of War on
the
PSP
fact that
is
they
ambitious.
run, the fact that Ghost of Sparta runs on a PSP and like looks as good as it does.
I played it on a PSP. It ran well.
Yeah.
But like the other thing is, I think those games are just, they're good games though.
Yeah.
Like they're well paced.
Yes.
They're like 5 hours long.
Yeah. It's good. No major complaints, honestly. About either of those PSP games.
I think Ghost of Sparta gets a little boring sometimes.
Yeah.
Not Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus.
Yeah. Ghost of Sparta, though, you have that fucking spear, and that spear is the worst feeling weapon in any of these games.
But all of these games have a weapon that feels bad.
Yeah. They never figured out how to make weapons that were not
like,
the Blades of Chaos feel consistently fun.
I mean, they made some good ones. It's just that the Blades of Chaos are so good that nothing else really feels necessary.
It's like how
like they didn't manage to make a good weapon until the Leviathan axe.
Yeah.
It's a good weapon.
It's a good weapon. You know, I like the sword in God of War 1 that you get pretty
cool.
like at like the halfway point. Hey, it's me. Remember me? I'm back. Oh yeah, well, watch this. Fine, I won't try to play strategically. Anyway, and then all of his guts fall out. Oh Jesus, it's back.
The crackle.
Yeah.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Anyway.
I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, now all I can think of is that fucking Pop-Tarts movie.
God, what a...
That's not the reference I was making, but okay.
No, I understand, yes, but also...
But you know what? It makes all the sense in the world that Jerry Seinfeld did that, because all of his bits are always on the periphery. He's always been on the periphery of humor. Like, he knows an idea that's funny, but he's never had any idea actually how to squeeze the humor out of it. That's why he was like the other three people in Seinfeld to make that show what it is.
You're telling me perhaps Larry David's actually the reason why Seinfeld is funny?
Because, like, you'll listen to any of his actual comedy, it's just like, I could see somebody else find humor in this situation that you're struggling to.
What's the deal? with God of War. He's coming to your house. He's killing all of your gods.
Yeah, a big part of it is just his presentation.
You know, if I was gonna be this angry, I'd have visited my mother-in-law's house.
You think a guy would have killed his
You think
wife
a guy
would
would
happy?
have killed his wife and child?
No, that's that's a different comedian's bit.
Yeah.
He did get Larry David out of prison. Okay, what's that story?
Oh no, that's what happens at the end of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's very good. It's a weird riff on the ending of Seinfeld. But what happens is basically Larry goes to jail, and then he gets out on a technicality, and Jerry Seinfeld is the one who picks him up.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's a... Curb is one of those shows that, like, I think is very funny, but it is so uncomfortable and so...
Yep.
Intentionally uncomfortable that I can't do it for large chunks.
Uncomfortable, like awkward, like feeling awkward.
Yeah,
for
like it's
someone.
just a lot of it's very intentionally like people being awkward to each other, and
I've been meaning to watch it, and then
cringe.
I've since learned that Cheryl Hines is married to RFK Jr.
She sure is.
So
Married to who?
RFK Jr. Larry
Mr.
David's
Warren
wife
himself.
in that show is RFK Jr.'s wife. Or you know, I don't think she was married to him when the series started. And
I looked
you
it
know,
up after I saw it, and it says 2014.
Yeah, and she says she didn't want him to run for office, but you know.
That brainworm, it wants power.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's true or not. I just think it's funny.
The brainworm.
Yeah.
The
Did you play the bolt gun expansion?
Yep, I really liked it. Some good new enemies, some really fucked up arena encounters, and they kind of they scale it. Like, you fight a grid and clean one by the end of the first level. Like they don't fuck around and have you go through a whole.
It's like the new Doom level pack where they
I saw Civ 11's video.
I saw Civ
on that. I do
11's
not wanna
video
play it.
and realized, oh, I'm about to come up on some of these.
Yeah, I don't want to play that.
No, it's good. It's good. I still think the Quake and Quake 2 levels are still more my jam. Yeah, nothing bad has ever happened with the Kennedy family. That is true.
See, there you go. You let your artisans do something, like you don't tell them what to do, and then they show up with a +3 shot crossbow with a bunch of bullshit. Here you go. Go, Tristan.
Did you get Tristan back?
You can, if you want.
No. Are you going to?
Yeah, I got him because he's very effective with the threat of deadly violence. Should he try anything? He's a very good healer.
Hey, guess what? Clerics have always been one of the best D&D classes. And especially in 3.5 / Pathfinder.
I mean, God, harm is just such a fucked up spell.
Yeah? Yeah, it is.
I just did 120 damage. Great. Good job. Yeah, you could tell me this is from the any God of War game, and I believe you. dogpiling on what you said earlier about all these games being the same.
Like, I don't... I could make, I could make the case for a lot of, there are certainly plenty of AAA video games that are very similar from installment to installment. What am I supposed to do here?
I would guess you heal it, get up to an area, then decay it.
Yeah.
This is strong Ico, or Eco, puzzle energy to it. Take that as you will. I will say the kingdom stuff in this game, when you're at where I am at, and they actually start getting into the politics of the nearby regions and whatnot, it's become a lot more interesting as opposed to just like the initial getting your feet off the ground.
I see.
Getting the initial advisors is.
Oh, I see what I need to do here.
You need to destroy everything.
No, I need to.
What? It's Kratos.
See, I gotta pull this switch all the way back and then decay.
And they come back into the wrong spot.
And then it will be stuck. So.
Now you're playing video games.
Yeah, now video game has happened.
Now you're thinking with levers.
See. Now it's happening. And now I can heal it again, and oh, well, looky here.
Kratos isn't smart enough to do that. Immersion broken.
And look, now the water wheel turns. And I can just do this. And the frame rate is briefly 60 FPS. Does that mean this game's running at an unlocked frame rate? Jesus.
That's weird. I thought this game was capped at 30.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm trying to think what other,
What other what?
major... Okay, I have to do the same element of the statue. What other big games I want to tackle before I inevitably
Go back to RPGs?
go back to either RPGs or goofy horror games?
I mean, this was the big one, right?
This was the one I wanted to goof around with. Someone attempted to make a mod to fix quote unquote Devil May Cry 2. And I feel like I have to see that, but maybe that will be for the children.
If you want to hurt yourself, I won't stand in your way.
Yeah, hurting myself is for the children. That's why we're all gonna play Redfall,
You can play all the Redfall you want to. I've already paid my dues there.
right? No, maybe it's really good now.
Maybe.
Other M? Oh, you're right. I do need to play Other M.
Oh, good game.
Yeah. My favorite Team Ninja game. I mean, it's probably better than Yaiba.
Yes.
Probably better than...
He's just running out of things to say. It's probably better than, I don't know.
Probably better than...
Than something somewhere that somebody's made.
X-Blades.
Yeah, I'll say this. Yeah, there's a high likelihood it's better than X-Blades. I'll admit that 90% of the joke I would want to do with a Metroid Other M stream is to have one Emerin Palladino on the stream. Because then it would be Metroid Other M.
I get the joke.
Yeah. And that's basically all I have. This is just a Crash Bandicoot swimming level. You can't trick me, video game.
It sure is.
No, that is. They've already stolen a boss idea from Crash Bandicoot with the
disappearing platforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
tropical
like when you
freeze
fight
level.
Entropy. Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying that looks like it's a bad thing.
Oh
is
yeah,
video
Heavenly
games.
Sword. You're right. I need to fucking buy a copy of Heavenly Sword. Shit. I have Genji also. Speaking of PS3 games that I did buy. Oh, video game. Alright, where's the obligatory sex minigame that at this point they just need to include because they feel like they have to? These are the questions I must ask.
Is it possible they just didn't?
First thing when I looked up God of War Ascension sex minigame was a GameFAQs thread saying, so is there seriously no sex minigame in this?
Well, that's because they made it woke. They made Kratos woke. Didn't even know what woke meant back in 2013, but they knew in their hearts. Those game facts
Kratos used to be a man.
Yeah, Kratos used to be, you know, JD Vance's favorite video game character.
Ugh.
Raising children is the #1 domain of post-menopausal females.
I don't want to be reminded
Oof.
of that.
That's a thing he
said
fucking
that.
said.
He said that. No, he said that. That's not a bit. I mean, it is a bit, but he said it not as a bit, as a legitimate thing.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
all.
that part-
That's all
and that-
grandmas are good for. Yeah, you're right. This is around the time. This is around the time we were starting to get ludonarrative dissonance
I
discourse.
thought that came out. That popped up around BioShock 1, didn't it?
A little bit, but the biggest.
Infinite came out, and what else came out that really?
Uncharted was the thing that the
Oh.
ludonarrative dissonance stuff really.
Oh.
The Furies who forged your bond.
Roll your eyes and walk away. That's all it deserves.
Then tell me, what has brought you to this betrayal of your own kind?
It was you.
I mean, pointing out a discrepancy between story and gameplay mechanics that's in pretty much every video game isn't necessarily a bad idea. But
It is for exactly what you just said in the sentence leading up to that.
What?
It's in pretty much every video game.
Speak
They're just
clearly.
pointing out one video game they don't like. They're trying to find a reason
No,
to
listen, don't you
have
get
some
it?
objective truth as to why their opinion is correct.
Sure.
I was brought
That's
forth
half
for
of
the
all video
joining
game
of the
discourse.
I think it's a
Warcraft
criticism that needed to come up, but like every criticism needed to come up, it was made by a
rage
stupid
and
asshole.
insanity, Ares hoped to conceive the perfect warrior.
Anyway, there. Are you happy?
Never.
Only a disappointment
No.
to him. It was my mothers who spared me. They gave me the task of keeping the oaths.
But
Although my burden was great, I was determined to be of service to those who said they loved me. But it was you, Kratos.
I definitely think it was.
The final task.
BioShock Infinite is a game that keeps coming up, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, but I definitely think it was kind of ridiculous when applied to that game because the entire city is trying to kill you, and they started it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not an example. Like I said, there's a contingent of people that really don't like that game and hate that it was highly
revealed
rated.
to me the plot of Ares to
Yeah.
overthrow Zeus.
They don't have
But
sincere
he
opinions.
needed the perfect warrior.
No, they have a sincere opinion, but the difference is they're trying to make their opinion rooted in some sort of
Are you telling me that
objective truth.
academia wasn't necessarily the place for you?
My enemies.
That it was a very academia focused thing. It was a lot of people trying to grant
to-
legitimacy.
Ares and
Listen,
to
I
video game
grew up in
criticism.
academia. My parents were college professors.
I know.
I have an opinion on academia in general.
Okay, I don't. It doesn't sound like.
We don't need
Anyway.
to- yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is like,
the blood of your very
I think a lot of people were trying to make video game criticism a lot more legitimate than it was at the time. It was still mostly viewed as X-play,
I mean, it's just
which is bad.
Yeah.
But
How
also,
good are the graphic?
But also, a lot of the criticism at that time was extremely surface level.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fine because now the backlash has gotten to the point where
But also, most criticism these days is
now
crazy.
yeah
Two-hour
now
long
well now
essays.
video game criticism is
Is there a
long
woman in it?
Fight the forces that
no,
gnaw
it's
his mind.
not.
His
You
thoughts
could find some
now
good
clear.
discussion about video games.
The warrior turned his
Yeah.
rage to the remaining
I just like that games
furies
press are
and
considered
their
some sort of
ultimate
horrible evil
defeat.
boogeyman. Even though there are like 6 of them left.
Just like, oh, the game journalists in their ivory towers.
Oh, you mean
And one of them is, and I mean nothing bad about him. Oh yeah, Patrick Klepek, the last game journalism. Last game
him,
journalism.
Jeff Grubb?
Dan Reichert.
Yes. I think Dan Reichert would very openly say he is not a journalist. Anyway. We killed one of the Furies. Now it's time to kill the other two, I guess.
That's video game. Never ends.
Yeah,
Kratos is always going to be killing somebody.
Yeah, it's fine, because, yeah, the game journalists, they're the ones who tell the video games to have women in them.
Yeah, it's like the president in gas prices.
Yeah. No, listen, it's definitely not because game companies would like women to buy video games. And queer people to buy video games. And those are both significant enough audiences with proven track records at this point. No, it's actually just a conspiracy against the real gamers like me.
And me. And
me!
You! He says, pointing at nothing.
Oh, buddy. I like when Kratos does the move where he grabs a guy and just runs with him until he slams it against a wall.
Pretty good.
I think that's a top tier Kratos move. Yeah, something about the old boys club nature of Games Press. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I have made many a dunk upon let's say the quality of old game magazines and websites.
Which is to say they're all great?
Yeah, they're all great. They're like, oh boy, the bodacious babes of Blood Rain.
Yeah, you guys excited for Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball?
Am I?
Look at these polygonal.
No,
almost naked
I love
women.
to be condescended as both being like a child and also an idiot horn dog.
Do I have the hobby for you?
Yeah, may I interest you in what talking about video games in the year 2003?
We're talking about video games?
I was. Child me had he had that Nintendo Power.
I was not.
I had friends whom I talked about video games with. I discovered GameSpot at the correct age to discover GameSpot. Yeah, the desirable games from the PS2 era now are not the games the press was promoting at the time. Yes, I agree.
I have watched you over the years. When you were just
Too
a
busy
boy,
looking at this Lara
I saw
Croft
the
centerfold.
signs. Even the loss of your brother.
I remember them.
Focus.
They talked about Shadow of the Colossus a
Tragedy
lot when that came
only
out.
improved you. You
That's
honed your skills.
yeah. Well, I do definitely do
And
feel like a
now,
lot of the
Kratos,
games.
You have fulfilled
People
your
like these
promise
days
of
were not
greatness. You
popular.
served with honor. You brought glory to us all.
I like sicko
And
games.
today,
Sick
you
people.
have earned your place among us as the greatest general
I
Sparta
believe you.
has ever known.
Don't we all?
Oh, surprise! It was another Fury!
So, There is something you value more than ambition.
So he just Sparta kicked that character off the...
Yeah.
I guess they had to do at least one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, you know, a lot of discussion has, like, every time one of those G4 clips come up where they talk about Japanese games in, like, maybe genuinely one of the most embarrassing, like, Jesus fucking Christ, you racist pieces of shit.
So what's Morgan Webb doing these days?
Isn't she married to a football player?
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, she was part of the new G4.
How long did that last?
A year.
Yeah.
Abby Russell wrote for them.
Is that one of those things that, like, did they say anything shitty, or did it just like fall apart immediately?
Oh, it just fell apart because no one was going to watch television.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. Oh, Jesus.
all games media is
on the
collapsing
internet
upon itself.
Yeah,
at this point.
despite the fact that the audience for games has never been bigger, making a sustainable business talking about it.
Okay, but the thing is, the kids these days, they're going to, if they need any opinions about video games, they're going to YouTube or TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, that's why you have YouTube, TikTok personalities like Mike Minotti. Blight Club's really good. They're playing the Wii version of Alone in the Dark 2008.
Sure, but you've said you wanted to do that at some point.
Yeah. So hey, remember how I played?
Now you won't.
Yeah, now I don't have to. Now I'll just have to play the PS2 version, which is the same game without the motion control.
Does that make it better or worse?
Worse. No.
So less ideal?
I mean,
does that make it more or less ideal for your purposes?
For my purposes, it's less ideal that Mike Minotti, they gave him the correct version of that game. Because here's the thing, the 360 version of that game already ain't great. So the idea of making a weird truncated compromised version and also having Waggle because it's a Wii game from 2008, and boy howdy, a lot of game developers were really trying to make use of that thing in the worst ways possible.
It was the law.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing sold so many copies that like, having your game on the Wii opened you up to a massive audience that otherwise wouldn't be buying your game.
Yep.
The problem is, it was always a compromised game.
The problem is, it was Alone in the Dark 2008, and not, I don't know, Zack and Wiki.
No, Zack and Wiki's fun,
2.
but that last level of Zack and Wiki sucks so much shit.
We'll find out one day.
It's so long. It is
the wheel
so
of
long.
dubious motion-controlled video games.
Did you play Red Steel 2?
No, Red
did
Steel.
at some point.
If I were to do another FPS series, I would have to do Red Steel 1 and 2 and the Conduit.
God, yes,
1
you should
and
play the
2.
Conduit. Get that Kevin Sorbo.
Oh no.
He's in that too?
Yeah, the Conduit. Yeah, that's Kevin Sorbo.
Okay,
That's
I
your
know.
main character?
I know it's John St. John in the second game.
Well, you don't play as Kevin Sorbo. He's the voice in your head.
Oh God.
If you get to hear a lot of Kevin Sorbo.
I've already had one Kevin Sorbo experience with God of War 3.
Not enough.
If only God's Not Dead, the video game.
Did that Jesus Christ video game ever come out?
I believe it might have. And the way this game like sometimes looks amazing and then sometimes turns into the blurriest Vaseline crap
I mean, that's
yeah.
that's late 360 era.
That's late 360 era, baby. Early 360 era is like incredibly basic bump mapped textures and also
bloom
and light bloom. And late 360 is, oh god, these video games are running at a compromised resolution. Oh, cool. Do I get to pull this guy apart to solve a puzzle? Do I get to put him back together and then pull him apart?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Even if the puzzle's not there.
There's a weird sadistic quality
to all these games.
To all
really?
of these games. That
never
listen, I'm a psychopath. You know me, and my love of using Hera's corpse to solve puzzles.
When are you gonna play Manhunt?
I've
Get
thought
some
about
Brian
it.
Cox in your ear.
I mean,
Yeah, just snap his neck.
Get
the bag over his head. Oh, yeah.
McDonald's delicious buttery crisps.
I think he's
never-
doing an American accent for that one.
I've
though.
never played Manhunt.
yeah, Manhunt has Brian Cox in it, and that's like
So he's like the psychopath voice in your head or something?
he's the guy who is
He's
in
the one
your
that
ear
sets
just
it
being
all
like,
up and is
yeah,
telling you to
bud,
kill.
I need you to kill him.
Between that and an episode of Frasier, he was.
Hey, he's great.
Yeah,
Man,
he is.
man deserved that Emmy. Back in 2013, people were saying the graphical leap wasn't big enough. I mean, that's also because those are. The other thing is, you know, the PS3 was the PS4 and Xbox One were both kind of technically underwhelming.
Are you telling me that Rise, Son of Rome didn't exactly blow everyone's minds?
Oh, that's another game I need to play for this feature. Thanks for reminding me. You know, important stuff. Rise, Son of Rome. My favorite Crytek game.
They've still only produced, like, Far Cry, the
They're still
Crysis
making Hunt.
games, Rise, and Hunt, right? That's
They're-
the only games they've actually made.
There was wasn't Homefront the Homefrontening one of those
Revolution?
I don't think Homefront Revolution was a... It might have been made on Crytek, but I don't think...
Okay.
I mean, on CryEngine, but I don't think Crytek made it. I thought that was somebody else.
Yeah.
I've played it. I don't remember.
Was it as bad as everyone says?
Ask me or Austin Walker anything about Homefront the
Homefront the
Revolution.
Revolution.
We're both vaguely positive about it.
Yeah.
It's not a good game. I didn't hate it.
This game's fucking stupid. What a
That sure is a dripping part of the body.
Okay, I think I know what I need to do here.
Oh, I love that now I'm the king. All the NPCs will get down on their knees when they see me.
Yeah.
It's great. Just walking around town. I think it's very funny that as you make a speech during your coronation, you have a bunch of like alignment choices, and the last thing you say is then permanently put at the top of the Kingdom Lair map.
Yeah.
It's very good. So it just says the oath is sacred at the top of my map at all times.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found a. I'm glad you installed the mod that allowed you to enjoy this game.
Yes, there it is.
I'm just overthinking this. Oh, I know what I need to do. I know, no. I know what I need to do.
I would assume you're overthinking. Yeah, these are never very hard puzzles.
I know what I need to do.
Do you know what you need to do?
I know what I need to do.
Good.
Brayden, I know what I need to do. Yeah.
So, I don't know how long ago he said this, but WBK mentioned like they cheaped out on the 8th gen console so much the PC game became affordable.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's come back around to be a problem for people who got used to PC gaming.
Yeah, as someone who built a PC.
But also like, I feel like if you were playing at 2560 by 1440, I feel like there are decent cards out there.
I mean, I don't feel like I need to upgrade anytime soon. Maybe, you know, maybe when the 50 series come out, or the AI market crashes, and GPUs and NVIDIA stock craters.
Or Intel's Arc becomes good.
Yeah, Intel's Arc chips become good.
They are apparently good for modern games, but if you play anything older than like 2018, they start having issues, which is a problem.
This will definitely have to go into the record.
It is an issue for me, specifically.
Like, if all you play is Fortnite, get you an Arc chip, and you'll be fine.
I mean, if you're playing Fortnite, you're a child playing it on your PlayStation.
Or Apex, or whatever. I don't know.
Which is to say, append that by saying,
I know he
or
paid
actually,
for
is
what
there a
he's
version
done.
of append for beforehand? Anyway, get your parents
They
to
say he was the first marked
buy
one,
that for you.
but his father didn't like the way he turned out.
Or steal your parents' credit card.
I know. I
Yeah,
was the
steal your
first
parents'
man
credit card
be
to buy more
put here by the
V-Bucks.
Furies. See,
I'm sure they'll
I've
appreciate
been
that.
keeping a record.
Is pre-penned a word?
Orcos was
Yes.
born here.
It is.
Then his mother.
Did my rig
can
struggle
pre-pen
with Dragon's
something.
Dogma?
They used to be fair.
It ran
But fair
well
had
enough.
something to do with Ares.
It ran as well as
pre-pen-
it does on
The
console,
way they treated him.
which is to say, it's mostly fine until you're in
That is no
the main
reason
city.
to betray your own.
Betrayed his
Oh,
own.
Dragon's Dogma 2?
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
you don't have to fight anything in the main city, though, so
Not really, no.
you probably
I did not
just
ask for his help.
That,
get away with it.
My
But
feelings
you
about that
received
game
it
are
nonetheless, didn't
all over
you,
the place.
Spartan?
Oh, are you saying that it is perhaps kind of flawed, a Dragon's Dogma game?
Yeah, I'm saying
not
that
perfect.
I'm looking forward to Dragon's Dogma 2: Dark Arisen. But specifically, I think, also Hideaki Itsuno leaving Capcom after, let's say, a hell of a run.
He made DMC 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2. What else did he do?
DMC 3 and 4 and Dragon's Dogma 1.
From my understanding, it seems like the general consensus about Dragon's Dogma 2 is they made Dragon's Dogma 1 again.
They made and part of that is quote-unquote intentional. Dragon's Dogma, as well. I have...
Did Dragon's Dogma 2 sell well?
Yes. Yes, it sold very well. I think in terms of, like, It's hard for any given video game at this point to get any sort of like discourse economy. Discourse economy
comes and goes.
I mean, especially if it's a single player game.
Yeah. Less reason for there to be word of mouth. Like when I was working at that warehouse job, there was a time when I had this younger coworker, and I remember talking to them about video games from time to time, and it really gave me ideas. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess this is just what video games are for a lot of people. I asked what genres she liked, and she's just like, I like multiplayer and open world.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
I have a guy. There's a guy at work, an older guy who's like he's in his early 50s. When I started there, we got into a conversation about video games, and I was like, "What kind of video games do you like?" And he's like, "Oh, I like RPGs." And I was like, "Cool, what kinds?" And he's like, "Far Cry and Assassin's Creed." And I'm like, that's not. I didn't correct
him. What are you talking about?
But
that's why the people of this earth need to be enlightened with dubious genre discourse.
You said dubious, but I heard
judicious genre discourse as well. Also Judaist genre discourse. We're going to talk about the different books of the Talmud.
Video games.
Forget this I Am Jesus Christ game. Where's our Moses simulator?
Oh, that exists.
Is that, what was that one weird god game from the 360? The, where you could do, like, terraforming and stuff?
Oh, the not Populous?
Yeah.
I do not remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about.
Probably just Google 360 God game. That couldn't have been a common.
Well, it's fine. Peter Molyneux is rebranding his fucking failed NFT game as Legends of Albion.
I skipped that part of the.
Oh no! It made me so happy. The liar has returned.
I just didn't. I couldn't.
The liar has returned, Relkin.
You know, Jeff, I think Legends of Albion is going to be a revolutionary new game.
And it just made me happy because not only does he still sound like that impression of him I just did.
Spot on. I don't think it was even considered a god game. I think it was considered like a puzzle game. I just looked up a list of all.
Gonna stab the boob snake in half.
Oh, nice. Are the boobs untouched though?
No, one of them got carved.
You're vivisecting these snake.
But that's
boobs. No, this game is like weirdly like a little heavier on the gore,
which is saying a lot.
Which is saying a lot for God of War. But yeah, and then meanwhile, Nextlander played fucking Black and White today, because that was their patron pick.
I did not expect any. I don't expect people to remember Black and White these days for the most part.
Well, consider Nextlander. 3 men in their 40s. And Brad installed Windows 98 on a virtual machine.
Yep, that seems
great.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Did they open up the? No, that wouldn't. That wasn't 98. Which was it? Windows 3.1 that had those famous WAV files.
Canyon.mid. Yeah. Oh yeah, they've done that.
I mean, 98. They were still there in 98. They were actually still there until Windows 7.
Glory will return you to us.
You just didn't like. They just weren't advertised. You had to go.
Yeah, I just didn't look
digging in. You just had to go digging around in System 32.
I after playing Down Under Dan, after watching ZP play Down Under Dan, I need Vinny Caravella to play Down Under Dan.
No, because Vinny Caravella wouldn't look up a walkthrough.
Oh, he would. They look up walkthroughs for their
Oh, do they now?
for the adventure games.
You have my son's toy. It is your heart that will be
Yeah, I think they've learned that like fumbling around is only fun for a little while.
Kratos knew he was close. Close to a time when illusion would have no power over him. Close to the defeat of the Furies, and finally...
What? Oh.
Close to the freedom he so
Okay.
desperately
We're doing another one of these, huh? This
Wait,
is how
another
this game is
flashback?
structured?
Are you in a
Okay.
flash? Is this a flashback in a flashback?
Okay, so this is gonna keep flashing forward and back.
Like counterweight.
Yeah. Is that really how that?
It's a big part of the reason I lost interest in counterweight is because I was just struggling to tell what was even happening after that.
What's counterweight? I don't.
That's Friends of the Table is probably their most famous season.
Yeah, that's the mech season.
One of the mech
first mech one that
They've
Austin
since
won.
made a bunch of sequel seasons that take place like thousands of years after it, but ultimately still keep kind of coming back to it.
Yeah. People like what is it? Lancer is the system.
Is that what they're using? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to guess no because
It's probably a hack of 40 different games.
it's just a powered by the Apocalypse 2d6 plus mod.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
They
I don't
played,
listen to actual play podcasts.
They played Blades in the Dark for Marielda, which is I think probably their best thing, because it's also a reasonable length. It's like 6
Oh, do I finally have a new weapon? No.
Oh, Braden, I finally learned the name of that weird dragon thing I fought. It's called a Craglanorm.
Oh yes, a Crag Linworm. Of course.
What dragon thing?
Yeah, the thing that you can encounter very early in the game, and you are
Yeah, as soon as you get
underleveled.
your kingdom, it's in the bridge region to your east southeast. It's just in a cave, and you can just
go in there and die because
it's a dragon, and you're probably like level 4.
Oh, don't worry, that hasn't stopped people. There are broken builds you can make, I'm sure.
I think I killed it like level 6 or something, but yeah, you creep up.
It's just having a bigger map than the enemy.
Killing dragons at low levels. Certainly something you've ever done.
No. I hope not. It would be a shame if at any point an encounter I designed to be challenging was instead upset.
I feel bad about this one still, but I still think the funniest one of those was in DCC when the bad lady was immediately blinded and began to running into like walls and shit. I mean, that's just DCC though.
There was one in DCC where we knocked somebody over and then we all stood around them and just took turns bashing. Anyway.
To be fair, we almost party wiped against like a single harpy at one point because it just put everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
And I had to burn like all of my luck.
In the dragon thing I'm referring to. Almost all died right off the bat, and then some lucky things happened.
Games can go bad in 5e. It's very much a superhero game, but early 5e things can get fucked.
Yeah.
I think it really only being advantage disadvantage can lead to pretty swingy combat encounters.
I spent I spent some time looking up exactly what base attack bonus means.
It's your level, right? Or no, it's
no,
not your level.
it's like every level you get in addition to your base attack bonus for like fighters and the like, you get another point to it, and for others you get like
It's
3/4
2/3
points
or
or
it's 1/2.
half. Yeah, is it 2/3 or 3/4?
It's
Anyway,
2/3.
point is, like, when you reach +6 base attack bonus, that's when you get your second attack. So ultimately every class can get a second attack. But it's going to take longer for other classes, for some classes.
I think
which I think
only
is
just get it.
which I think is good. Yeah, which I think is good because, like, one of the things I noticed about Baldur's Gate 3, for instance, is that fighters, when they get that second attack, become way more useful than basically everyone else.
And then when they get that third attack at level 12.
Yeah, it's like if you have two fighters, or if you have Karlach and Lae'zel in your party in Baldur's Gate 3, you just auto-win most things.
That also has to do with the way Baldur's Gate 3 handles magic items, which is to say that they give you some, whereas a lot of 5e is designed around basically barely ever giving the players magic items.
Yeah. Also, haste potions are very easy to make and come across in Baldur's Gate 3, which really helps martial classes, but still.
My monk has 5 attacks at this point.
Monks are
7
full
if I
BAB
properly,
class.
Yeah. But no, like, I read that up about base attack bonus, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool way to work around that problem. Anyway.
Hey, Brayden.
Yes, hello.
What software do you use for editing the podcast?
I use Audacity. What did you do?
It?
What did
what do you mean?
do? I saw you
what did I
recording
do?
that thing.
I guess you'll have to find out.
I saw you with Carl. Or Craig.
Craig?
I saw you with Craig. What were you doing with
Craig?
Craig?
Craig is cheating on you with me now.
How dare
It's just a toxic yellow love triangle.
Yeah.
Between you, me, and Craig.
Okay.
Well, anyway, have fun.
Okay. I'm playing an extremely, maybe the most mid a God of War game has ever been.
Seems more like you're doing this as a background thing while talking about bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what makes this manageable.
Yeah, no, that's what makes these games manageable.
Okay, well, I'll just say I prefer 3.5e. Anyway, bye.
I mean, of course it's essentially 3.5e. Also, how does that man prefer 3.5e?
I mean,
has he ever played it in an actual tabletop setting?
I think he said that's the one he played when he was a child or something.
Oh,
I mean, that's the one I played as a child. I didn't know what I was doing because I was 14. But that's how I learned the rules, and that's why Pathfinder is just intrinsically makes sense to me, because Pathfinder's just 3.5 with more bullshit.
I didn't play it.
Same.
I did not know anybody.
To be clear, it was never like anything resembling a coherent campaign.
Sure. I get the impression that's not the case for most people. Or at least until the last decade.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot easier. Partly because of Roll20 and stuff. But also just in general fighting.
But also,
way more.
Yeah.
And also, it's a lot easier to get. It's also a lot easier to get a hold of like an iPad and find an application that can do all this stuff for you. All the math stuff.
Math stuff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of math in five.
Okay, sure, but most people will still look at it and go like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that."
I have to add a +2. Ugh.
Some people have I've found that they're very wide-ranging tolerances.
So when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, let's bring that back up. I did look over the subreddit occasionally. There were absolutely people who were extremely confused about why they were losing or thought that game was incredibly difficult or could barely play it even on easy.
It's like, because you haven't equipped any armor.
It's the whole, like, I didn't know I could level up in Mass Effect thing all over again. Or just people that didn't understand at all how that worked, which is fair if you've never really played an RPG-ass RPG. Baldur's Gate 3 is probably a lot to take in. But
hey, you know, we could always go back to Fable 3 and its decision to, instead of having a real menu, have that portable demi-plane where John Cleese tells you how to equip items.
Let's go back. That was clearly the best.
Fable 3.
I don't want to go back to that era.
You're gonna develop a relationship with this dog.
No, Fable 3 was the one where you could choose to put the children to the mines or the orphanage.
That would be
why can't you build an orphanage next to the mines?
Because you only have space for one.
I was given the choice at one point in this if I wanted to help somebody reach asylum or turn them over to the government.
What you do?
Oh, I just said, let's not get involved. I took the most cowardly way out.
I mean, you seem to be playing the kind of character who, if it doesn't really provide an advantage to them, why would they care?
Yeah.
That seems like both ways are gonna potentially cause problems for you. So why get involved? So that seems pretty much right.
I'm a role player.
I played the role of someone who is increasingly indifferent in this video game. I might write something about this.
Is it really that bad?
No. No, here's the thing. This game plays perfectly... Well, I wouldn't say perfectly fine.
It plays better than most character action games, it seems
like. It plays better than most of the things I have covered for this feature. By a wide margin.
But this game is also one of the poster children for franchise rot. It has gone on for so long that it's not fun anymore.
Or you are so afraid of trying anything different.
Well, it sounds like they have tried a few things.
Yeah, but it's at the margins.
Not enough. But yeah, but not anywhere near enough.
All right, I'll be back in a sec. I gotta pee.
Okay, fair enough.
God of War, make some pee.
I'm also gonna get up because I've been sitting here for like 2 hours.
No, it's because I've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. Doing some stretches. And we're back. Hello.
And he's back.
Oh, yep, I gotta... I get the impression that I am probably...
Want me to look up how long it is? Give you a ballpark?
Yeah, I'm gonna say... Here's my baseline guess is, I think I'll only need one more stream to finish this.
It's less than 10 hours long.
Yep, okay.
Then you can move on and never play God of War Ascension again. I was hoping for this to be more triumphant than depressing.
Yeah, I think, I would say the only ones of these the only games in this original run of God of Wars that I would replay are the first two.
3 at least is fast.
Yeah, three's fast.
And also, when you're playing 3, you just keep you can just keep making Kratos jokes.
Yeah.
Those are good. But I guess you could do those with any of them.
Yeah.
You can do this even when you're not playing God of War.
It's true. I could be playing PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale right now.
You could be on the John and just...
Because Zeus is one of the characters in that game.
Sure.
Zeus
Along
is
with
the
Cole McGrath and evil Cole McGrath.
No, do you know who the DLC characters are for that game?
Who?
It's Zeus and Isaac Clarke.
I mean, I don't even associate Isaac Clarke
and
with
Kat
Sony, but...
from Gravity Rush.
Oh, okay. Kat, sure.
Yeah.
That's a Sony character.
Yes. I mean, there's a whole lot about the development of that game, and just, hey, guess what? Sony had no fucking faith in their own product. And, like, yeah, Santa Monica's like, we're not gonna let you use Kratos unless he's top tier. Like, shit like that, and, like, that's why both Cole and Evil Cole are there.
Yeah, I'm always saying
because Sucker Punch was insistent that both Coles be in, and the devs didn't really have
a way of saying no.
A way of saying no because they're not Nintendo.
God, both good and evil Cole, they have to be in there.
Yeah, no, it's one of the selling points of our game. One of the things that everyone likes is that
what
he has blue lightning or red lightning.
And they were evil Cole, but then they're not feeling represented.
And you know, it was DMC Dante and not classic Dante. And then it was Raiden instead of Snake because Metal Gear Rising.
You asked why you're not using ice. Why aren't you using ice?
What do I get from using ice? Do I get more red orbs?
Maybe it slows them down. Oh, it's what's the name for these? It's a Magic the Gathering, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, an Oliphant.
Yes, that's what it is.
An Oliphant, Mr. Frodo.
Boil and mash it with this dude.
Yeah. And then rain. Blech. Fucking so gross. Yeah.
This is pretty tame compared to like where like Mortal Kombat has gone.
Yeah, sure, but this is compare
Standards
this to
have changed.
I mean, yes, I've seen the fatality compilations for MK11 or MK1, excuse me, where
I think the roughest one, honestly, is still that knife carving through the Gorgon's chest. That one was like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that because
yeah,
like think back around the same time we had the Dead Island bust statue.
Yep.
Remember that disgusting
Yeah, I do.
zombified statue?
Yeah, I do.
lady's
Where
chest,
it's
but don't
literally
worry, the
just
boobs are fine.
a bloody torso with boobs,
With
and it's like,
pristine breasts.
yeah, this is what you want people to pay an extra $50 for, huh? My favorite thing about all of that shit is they perform all of the fatalities against Reptile because it doesn't trip the YouTube's
sure.
automatic age restrictions.
Racist.
Because green blood.
Oh, I was also gonna say, not recognizably human.
But yeah,
I'm actually killing lizard folk right now. I just came upon their village and I'm murdering them all.
Some of the guess what? Some of those Mortal Kombat fatalities are real fucked up.
Yeah.
It's almost like they looked at actual images of actual grisly deaths and went, huh, how can we animate that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just that, like, I'm hitting that point where it's just like, oh, this is going too far. Am I old, or
Lionheart, is it that... I'll re-summarize for you. I think this game is kind of sad. Because it just... I'll say this, I probably like this more than 3.
Really?
Maybe.
Really?
You played the video game more in this one.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
Whereas 3, you are 90%, like, 90%
Most
of that game is
some kind of event.
Big, dumb set piece. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Gaia!
Do you just have to... Anyway. As far as the Mortal Kombat thing goes, Roken, I think it's a combination of you and I getting older, and also, like, the fidelity is so much higher that ripping out a spine isn't really a funny pixel thing anymore.
Yeah, we're seeing a cross-section of a person's body.
And
yeah,
and it's like it's a lot. But yeah, I think this game is very...
Do you have to swing that over there and then slot your shield into the hole that's opened up?
Maybe. That's probably it. No.
Somehow, I don't know, that's just the thing that occurred to me.
And I cannot go back. If only I had my annoying son. Oh, here we go.
Your invincible annoying son.
Atreus won't be born for quite some time.
Father, have you tried jumping? See, when it's like this, and I'm just doing God of War shit,
you can forget.
I can forget.
Pretty good.
You sure we're in the air for a really long time?
Yeah.
When you impale this insect lady on her own
stinger, yeah, it's good.
Stinger, yeah.
Or green stinger, not as good as the blue stinger. I'm very happy to report that friends of the show at the Bad Game Hall of Fame are in fact playing Blue Stinger. and can enjoy the magic of Hassie soda.
Hear Christmas music over and over again.
Yes, that is like the worst audio mixing you've ever heard in your life.
What was the other game?
Illbleed is the other game from that developer.
Which one was your favorite?
Illbleed is deranged.
I thought you liked Blue Stinger more.
Blue Stinger is less hostile to play. Because Illbleed is a fucking nightmare to play. But Illbleed, once again, that last level of Illbleed lives rent-free in my head. Where it's just a weird Toy Story Indiana Jones parody.
Oh, right. Sexy doll!
And there's a doll called Sexy Doll that is just a giant ass.
Yeah.
Lionheart, you didn't like Black and White today?
That's not a fun game to watch.
The Volgar stream that Brad and Patrick Klepek did last week was good.
I don't think I'd be able to watch that because I'd just be like,
you're playing it wrong.
Playing so poorly. Did they ever get past the first level?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I'll say they didn't get much further past that.
Okay.
Brad is tenacious. I believe he can eventually do it.
I believe that both Brad and Patrick are stubborn enough and capable to overcome a lot. However, comma. Okay, let's see. Okay.
Endearing, okay.
What Castlevania is Joku on now? Was he going to play more 64?
It's either going to be the second 64 or it's he was driving himself insane last night with Circle the Moon.
Yeah.
Because I don't really agree with his constant save stating, but at least with the normal Castlevanias, it means he can get through them.
Yeah.
But Circle the Moon has some insane grinding expectations about halfway through that game and beyond. So at the end when he's fighting, I did the math. When he's fighting the last form of Dracula in the other world, he would have had to whip him 137 times without ever taking any damage because anything would kill him.
Okay.
So it just became him getting a single hit in and then save stating. And
okay.
At some point
so you're
was
telling
so
me...
sleep deprived he could barely remember what to do.
Okay. Yeah, listen, I remember when he... Were you there when he played RE4? While at 3 in the morning his time, and he was...
to be clear, he was up until 5. It was 9 hours of straight streaming.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He seems very intent on just getting through the ball. I don't know why. I don't know why.
He's playing, the third Game Boy one?
Yeah.
The one that's not canon anymore?
Don't you play a woman?
Yeah, there are no Lady Belmonts.
No, listen, the only women in the Belmont clan are the women outside the Belmont clan that the Belmonts impregnate to make more male Belmonts.
Yeah, no, women can't use whips.
Well...
Not to fight Dracula, they can't. That's a...
Did you ever get a whip in Order of Ecclesia?
There probably is a whip glyph.
Yeah, I didn't play enough, but yeah, probably.
That game...
That game is very good. That game is also very hard.
No, I got past the crab.
I associate Shinoa with rapiers.
Yeah. Rapier o'clock. I mean, yeah, Shinoa, the thing with Shinoa is, the faster you attack, the better off you are. And that's probably the rapier thing.
I mean, the way I played Soma in Dawn and Arya was always just the big ass swords
Yeah,
with the giant hit boxes.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
big
I always
90
did with
degree.
Soma as well.
I always like to mix it up. They have a lot of interesting things you can do.
I do not remember how I played Portrait of Ruin.
Jonathan.
I should replay that. I remember thinking that game was. I remember putting that game down and going, "Gee, this is really fun," and then never picking it up again.
Well, I have great news.
Unlike the other two.
The new version seems like it's gotten rid of their really frustrating touchpad stuff.
Yeah.
That was in Dawn of
keys.
That was in Dawn of Sorrow.
There
Portrait
was
of Ruin
also
didn't.
some as well, right?
No. I'm like 90% sure there wasn't, but I just said I don't remember anything about that game, so I don't remember. Nope, touchpad and Portrait. Portrait's thing was always the two characters. But also, like, I think Portrait being the worst of those three speaks to the quality of those three rather than, like, any sort of shitting on Portrait. Do you have to use that big block to, like...
So what I need to do is I need to... Yeah, I need to shove this in here.
That Castlevania collection available for anything other than the Switch?
Yes, it's on everything.
Great.
I know because I bought it for PS4 or PS5.
There is a GameSpot video that says it's already on sale for 25. Oh wait, that's a Green Man Gaming thing.
Yep, it's you
Which
can
I
get
don't-
it for 25% off Green Man Gaming, but because I have all the other Castlevania collections on PlayStation, I am OCD obligated. To
Oh, Braid, I need another objectivist.
you're asking you know who to ask. His name's Chris Zombie Pie Redacted.
I've gone through so many of them.
Rand Paul.
Fuck him, no.
Okay, Ron
I prefer
Paul.
ones that are dead.
I mean, there aren't all that many objectivists, are there?
No.
Who was...
Ronald Reagan.
That's more libertarian.
So,
Even then, I wouldn't say that. I'd
so
just
for
say
me,
asshole.
it's very much a yes. There's a little bit of OCD. I want all of these games from this same series to be on the same platform,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to pretend that's like a defensible, rational position. However, comma.
Apparently, Steve Ditko was an objectivist.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's a good one. Gotta make a name out of Ditko.
Ditkopolis.
It's like a plains. It's like a rolling plains.
Apparently, yeah. So you're like me and you want Wind Waker on Switch, kinda.
It'd be nice if we could get those Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports on Switch, yes.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great if those,
I almost wouldn't need a Wii U anymore.
Yeah, well, you
virtually
can,
no
you
reason.
can hack a
I guess
Wii
I could
U.
play. I guess I could play the. I have a hacked Wii U, but even then, I basically use it as a GameCube.
It's okay.
I use so much of the map now.
How many acts are there? There's 5 and 6.
There's 8. Although 4 and 5 happen in the same chunk of time. The moment you come back from beating the Lich, 5 starts. Very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see what I need to do here. now I need to push it the other way.
Oh, this is fucked up. This is a regional upgrade, which they finally unlocked. Like, mutually exclusive. Like, this is the big thing for this region. Along with a bunch of city planning stuff. Also, all of your general and high priest roles in this region and all of the other in any adjacent regions, which is like half of your kingdom, get advantage on any rolls. Also, all of your characters for the rest of the game get a +4 bonus to damage on anything they do. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you start diving into Mythic Path stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna be boring and go like, I reject it.
I mean, here's the thing about Legend is
one of the best.
Legend is secretly.
But is it fun?
I mean, you get 40 levels on your main character.
Justin, you answered that question
but
before.
Also, Relkin, you have to deal with multi-classing, which you refuse to interact. You refuse to engage with, despite clearly liking cheese stuff over here. Okay, I see.
I was gonna say you have to engage in multi-classing, and then Braden brought up that point better than I was going to.
You've already engaged in all these other systems. I'll say, yeah, Legend. Legend seems like it might be one of the most powerful.
I think I would accept my divinity because in Baldur's Gate 2, I rejected it. So let's go the other way. Be something weird.
Yeah.
Be a weirdo.
Well,
there's plenty of different divinity paths.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I just found the most important thing of this entire game.
What?
You know all those. Well, Braid would not. You didn't get far enough in this, but you know, Braid. You know all the things that are like, hey, spend the next 14 days doing nothing.
Yeah.
What if that was half the time?
Yeah, that seems like
that seems big.
Like a useful thing. Oh, cool.
Like,
I have to start this
as in the
all
plate
over
spinning
again.
has just been trivialized. I wish this happened earlier.
Okay. I'm going to solve this puzzle, and then I'm going to stop playing this game.
Forever?
For today.
For today.
No, unfortunately... Unfortunately, God of War is always eminently playable.
So you're kind of just compelled to finish?
Yeah, so I'm just compelled to finish because... Say what you will about this game being, like, very, underwhelming.
More of the same. But you sure can get to the credits.
But I sure can get to the credits.
There's value in that.
Yeah. So, why do you hate multiclassing? Is it, or dislike it at least? I think hate might be a strong word.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys have always attributed way more to... I don't think I ever want to spend the time to have to learn the systems well enough to engage with that well.
But you are, because you're playing Pathfinder.
No, I've learned how to play Monk very well. Everything else is kind of just like...
Everything else is the same. Pretzels is the same.
Hmm. What's your opinion on Final Fantasy V's job assists?
They improved upon it in Tactics.
I mean, that's more complicated than most RPG multi-classing systems.
Yes, the difference is I did that when I was a small child.
Oh, so you don't have to learn it as an adult.
Yeah.
Best time to learn anything when you're a small child.
And also, to be honest, I probably don't know that game as well as other people. I don't think I ever actually figured out how to break the game as a calculator.
You never
people always
figured out
insist
death
that's
by
how you do it.
math?
No, you don't need to. There's so many more interesting ways you... I mean, that's why I like that game, is there are just a trillion equally fucked up fun ways to play it.
I played through Baldur's Gate as a fighter cleric, and my only party member was a fighter mage thief, and that was one of the easiest runs I've ever had of that game.
But what about Imoen?
I did all that. Those were both custom characters. I dumped all of the I did not take on any of the party members.
You really...
But also, like, that took me a week to do. But no, as a fighter cleric, like, the only things you need to do is, like, buff yourself and use 2 maces. And that's it. Auto-win most things in that game. On core rules. Anyway. Samurai draw sword in what, in Baldur's Gate?
No,
Or
in
what game?
FFT.
Oh.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
isn't Samurai a fighter subclass
thought-
in 5e as well?
I
Yeah,
don't think
it is.
I don't think there's any kind of samurai class in Baldur's Gate. There's Wakazashi's.
I mean, yeah.
They don't have everything.
Yeah, they have... Well, yeah, because
You know,
they
the-
weren't adapting Oriental Adventures.
You know what, the one thing I would like for them to do, if they're, well, they're doing this thing, but the one thing I hope they do with this this current version of D&D, I hope they make some interesting barbarians and classes.
I mean, you can see what they've done.
Okay, I might look into that then.
Like, because all of that stuff was out in playtest.
Because I think it's really telling that they finally managed to make a bunch of interesting fighters, but somehow most of the barbarians are like...
I like the Ancestor Barbarian. But also, barbarians are just inherently a simple class.
Yeah, you can...
Let me
can
tell you
do
about
interesting
Blood
things with them.
Ragers. They're like barbarians, but they have sorcerer bloodlines.
Alright, what if you ate people,
Okay.
and then you had to keep eating people?
Okay, yeah, and... It was a homebrew thing that you then had to homebrew more of in order to make
To
it
make
not...
the things that were useless not useless, to make the things that are broken not broken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did have to learn the systems.
One of them.
Foot of Apollo. Alright, that's...
It's like Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
Turn on that song, the violins.
Yeah.
Tune in next time for Brain's barn burning, exciting romp through God of War.
It's rain time! That's
Don't try to
right.
get to us.
It's rain time.
Wait, are you not playing this on an emulator?
No, I'm playing this on a real-ass PlayStation 3.
Oh, God.
I bet this game doesn't run right on an emulator.
No. This is my fucking PS3, motherfucker. Look at this shit right here. I paid $10 American for this game. I still have my Kingdom Hearts background that I got for beating Kingdom Hearts 1.
Nice.
Big goo. And all of these great games that I can't play because I don't have PS Plus anymore. And then, you know,
right.
Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, great game. It's terrible. It's the worst Tales game I've played.
I
Tales game I've
believe
played.
you. It's probably the worst Trails game, too.
It's probably the worst Trails game. Emil makes Reen Schwarzer look lovable by comparison.
That's
a bold claim.
Emil, no, the thing, yes,
Is
that
Emil a war criminal?
Emil is an abusive partner, and his dynamic with Marta, who is the other main character of that game, is like a weird battered spouse thing.
Okay, but does he conquer a neighboring nation? And then convince himself that it's actually okay because think of the good we're gonna do for them.
Yeah. It's not about morality, Relkin. It's about how obnoxious he is and how much I want to kill him.
Does he have a weird incestuous relationship with his younger sister?
No. Instead, he just has an abusive relationship with the female protagonist that is akin to a battered spouse.
Lone life cross, but that is wrong. Good characters across the board, thanks to RPGs.
Yeah, thanks to Jerpicas. All right, it's Joku time. Remember to tell Joku.
Which Castlevania is he
He's
playing?
playing
He's playing
the
64.
third Game Boy one.
Oh, right.
All right. Have a good
All right, you all have a good one. I will finish this tomorrow or Monday.
Later. All right.
All right. See ya. Bye.